Okay. For every Christian, you got to know that you have to face the enemy. If you're a sinner, the devil is not trying to get you turned around. If you're a saint, that is someone whose heart is fixed to love God, to serve God. Just as King David did. The Bible said that of King David, it said that he's a man after God's own heart. Well, the devil did hinder him. There's a lot of things. He tempted him into getting with Bathsheba. One time when he was slack in the Lord, he decided he's going to stay home instead of go to the battle. And truthfully, in those days, the king was one of the best fighters, and it wasn't King David's case anyway. And today the king doesn't fight today. The king stays home and watches everybody else die while he sends them off to war. And I don't want to get into politics. I could easily turn into a political thing, but I don't want to do that. A Christian is going to face the enemy. Our pastor used to say, if you ever want to see Jesus face to face, you're going to have to stand toe to toe with the devil. And of course, standing toe to toe with somebody means that it's an old boxing terminology. It talks about a physical face-off or a contender, and that's the verse I want to use. The Bible tells us to contend for the faith, and that's exactly what you're going to do with the devil. Now, there's another way to contend. You contend with people who are Christian and non-Christian, believers and non-believers, and I'm trying to think of the kind of non-believers. It's like atheists and agnostic type of people. But people who are getting ready to believe, well, that's the most important thing right there. People who are getting ready to change their heart. For instance, in the Bible there was a man who Peter talked to, I think it was. He says, you have almost persuaded me. And that's the ones that you want to contend with. Those are the ones that you really want to talk to and spend time with, because those are the ones who is seriously considering thinking about Christ and about giving their heart. And those are the ones that the devil is going to fight you for. And if you win too many of those over, you better listen now. The devil, he'll send some real trouble your way. And but know this, he can only do it for a certain amount of time. The Bible says that when one has endured the test, there is a crown laid up. In other words, the devil won't be able to bother you in that area anymore. And the crown doesn't just mean that you have a place in heaven, talking about the total length of your life, but it also talks about small battles in your life. And the devil, once you win over and you get total faith, it's just like Jesus when he went out in the field, in the desert. It's early morning and my brain is not kicked off yet, and I don't do a lot of caffeine anymore, so I can't cheat. I could do real good if I'd get me a bottle of Mountain Dew. My mind would be going like this and I'd be just around. But Jesus went out in the desert and he had a tussle with the devil. And Matthew chapter 5, I think it is, or right there in the first part of Matthew, it might be chapter 4. But just look up. I'll put it on if I can think of it. I'll put it on where it's at. But anyway, Jesus went through a certain amount of time to battle with the devil, and he was taken up to the top of the temple and asked to throw himself down and all that kind of stuff. And And the devil is allowed to, according to the book of Job, the first couple of chapters there, the devil is allowed to test us for a while and tempt us and whatever else he wants to do. He's allowed to do that, but the Lord holds him back to certain places in our life, just like in the book of Job. And but when the battle is finished, this is what the Bible said. Jesus came back from that fast, that 40-day fast. He had total authority over the things of the world. The devil is called the prince of this world, but Jesus had authority over the prince of this world. And after his battle, so we know that our battles that we fight, we're not fighting them for a loss. I've been in a battle now for a few years, and when this battle is done, I know for a fact, man, the Lord is going to put me in authority over the enemy, and the devil knows that. He's been well schooled on it, and the Lord has told me many times, and God is in the process right now, even as we speak, of doing exactly that. And the Lord is going to lift me up and put me in a place where I will have authority even over the mouth of the media. Isn't that going to be something? And I'm looking forward to that day, because I'd love to shut them up. All the lies that they tell and the direction they try to move us into away from the Lord. And the selfish money grubbers and all that kind of stuff. Those are the kind of things that we contend with. And those are the kind of things that a Christian is going to have to face until the Lord comes back. And that's the day I'm looking forward to as well. I'm looking forward to the Lord coming back and being in heaven, where we won't have to face any of this stuff anymore. You know, I go to work and I look at people as friends, and some of those friends come to work and they look at me as their enemy. You know, and that's not going to happen in heaven. You know, I'd like to see an innocent Christian, heavenly looking face every place that I go, and we just don't see that. But we're here on this earth to be contenders. Now you can read some of my statements that I say to some people, and you'll come away saying, boy, that man is a contender for sure, because I don't give up easy until the Lord pulls my reins. You know, I'm in it for the fight. Just like any boxer that goes into the ring, he don't come out and he'll give himself wholly into that fight until his coach in the corner says, okay fella, that's enough, we got to quit now. Alright, so God bless. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you again next time. Another great message, Cross in the Middle Ministry.